So today I would like us to talk about author's purpose in nonfiction. Sometimes it's maybe considered even a little bit of author's craft. What are authors doing and why are they doing what they're doing? So, authors, they get an idea for a nonfiction book that they're going to do. And as they're doing that, they really have to make some decisions on what they're doing. And they make those decisions based on their readers, what their readers need. So this chart, this is what's called a reading progression. And in fourth grade, this box here are the things you needed to know. But in fifth grade, here are the things that you need to know about. So one of the things I would know in fifth grade is I would know that authors of informational texts make craft decisions with readers in mind. So their purpose of doing what they're doing is based on what they think their readers need. I use academic language to name these goals and techniques, using terms like surprising statistics and suggest the significance of a point. So instead of just saying, hey, that author did that thing there, because we can use the academic language that we use in the classroom to describe things. And then I can talk at length about these. I ask myself, how would the text have been different had the author made a different choice? What if instead of doing this thing, she did something else? So we're going to kind of talk about these as we're looking at our book here, When Lunch Fights Back. So we're going to kind of look through the book and talk about some of the decisions the authors made and maybe why they made those decisions. So we'll open up. So you notice here at the beginning, even the picture at the beginning, you can think about, why did they pick this picture? What about this title, When Lunch Fights Back? What was their purpose in doing that? Okay, so I want to start here at this table of contents. So we know that the table of contents is where the author puts like the chapters of the book that they're doing. So this book, When Lunch Fights Back, has 8 chapters and an introduction. So we already know that in the introduction, we're going to be kind of introduced to this whole topic. And the author probably included that because they want to introduce you to the whole big topic, right? Then we have slip, sliming away, concealed weapons, toxic bubbles, master blasters, knockout punch, here's blood in your eye, of bullies and bait, and meet my bodyguards. So why would the author include this? What is their purpose in the table of contents? What do you think? Just think about that for a minute. What is the purpose of a table of contents? So I was thinking, as I was looking at this, that maybe they kind of wanted to give us a clue about the topics they would be covering in those chapters. They didn't just put chapter 1, they actually gave us the chapter's title. And Slip, Slime, and Away, I have a hunch, is something about slime. So I think the author included the table of contents to not only give us an overview of what we might be reading about, but also give us a clue about what will be in the chapter. What do you guys think? So in nonfiction, you don't have to read it from the beginning to the end. And I really, really want to read Slip, Slime, and Away. So I'm going to go ahead and go to page 5. So I noticed some things that are there before I even start reading anything. I noticed this author has given us some, like maybe some kind of statistics about this hagfish. So why would you think the author might do that? Why would they include that statistics box next to a picture of this hagfish? Think about that for a minute. What is their purpose in doing that? It looks like it talks about the height and their scientific name. Why might they include that? They could have included that in a paragraph, right? They could have a paragraph about that, but instead they used this box. Why? maybe to get us the information quickly, maybe just have some backup information. Why do you think they might have included this picture? Would you have known what a hagfish looked like if they wouldn't have included that picture? I don't think I would have known. And then they have this little box over here to give us some more information. And then I'm gonna read some of it. And then when I'm reading this chapter, I want you to think about why the author organized this text the way that they did. A hagfish slithers along the ocean bottom, moving like a snake. A primitive deep sea creature is nearly blind, but has a keen sense of smell. It picked up the scent of a dead whale from more than 1 mile away. The hagfish follows the scent through the water. When it reaches the whale's carcass, it swirls around the remains, stirring up a feast. Then the hagfish sticks its teeth into the dead whale's soft, rotting flesh and takes a big bite. So the author does some interesting things there. She's kind of telling us like almost a story almost of this hagfish. It's slithering across the ocean. Why didn't they just say the hagfish eats dead whale? Why do you think they did it the way they did here? Does it paint a picture more in your mind the way she did it? Can you picture this hagfish slithering across the ocean bottom, moving like a snake? It's kind of blind and it smells something. So the author writes the text in order for the purpose that they want you to get out of it. They want you to see this hagfish doing this. They want you to imagine it happening. So as the hagfish eats, a shark arrives. The shark isn't interested in the whale, though. It's after fresh meat. Slowly circling, the shark edges closer to the hagfish until it's just inches away. In a blur of movement, the shark strikes. It grabs the hagfish in its toothy jaws and instantly lets go. The shark's mouth is overflowing with thick, snot like goo. The slimy stuff fills its throat and clogs its gills. Without gills to pull oxygen from the water, the shark can't breathe. It thrashes its head from side to side, desperate movements. So here the author is telling us about a shark attacking this hagfish, right? And they kind of tell it again in a story. So why do you think the author chose to tell it that way? How do you think it would be different if she just would have said, if a shark attacks a hagfish, the hagfish will fill its mouth full of gooey stuff? Snot like gooey, snot like goo. So it's different because it's kind of the story. So as you're going through a book like this or any other nonfiction piece, you have to think about the purpose the author has for the things they're doing. Why do they include the picture? Why do they have the text box? Why are they telling, or why is the text in the text structure it is? What is the reason they're doing what they're doing? And how would it be different if they did it another way? So as you read your nonfiction books today, think about that. Maybe jot some notes down about reasons you think the author's doing what they're doing.